Three drivers who looked strong all day at Texas didn't get the finishes they wanted. Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, and Bubba Wallace. Steve, I think we were all impressed by Bubba Wallace winning the pole, going out and leading the most laps, but a frustration when he comes home finishing third at this one.
A frustration with third, but Jeff, I think they have to think this is mission accomplished. Remember, this is a team that came in 14 points below, last in the playoff list. And while a win was out there and the automatic advancement that a win grants you would be the golden egg for Bubba Wallace, he now has gained 12 points to the cut line. And, you know, you have to make up for an average regular season somewhere. You can't have 0 playoff points and just think it's going to easily turn around in the playoffs. So, Jeff, I know Bubba's disappointed he didn't get the win, but if I'm Booty Barker, I'm trying to change that attitude, change that mentality that Texas was a huge success. We had race-winning speeds, and now we're right back in this fight to advance.
Well, you have to, Steve, because if you don't, you'll just have that on your mind. And when you go to Talladega and something doesn't happen your way, then you're like, hey, there it is. Should have won Texas. And so you just got to move on. You can't look back. You got to move forward. I think the big trouble for Bubba Wallace, and I think he knows it, is that the roll's looming. And although he's an improved road racer, is being good going to be good enough? Can you go run 8th or 9th and get done what you need to get done on the road course? And it possibly not. So this was an opportunity for him not have to worry about that, not have to worry about Talladega. And it got away from him in the last few laps. And those are hard to take. And one other driver I want to add to that list, Rick, is Blaney. You know, Ryan Blaney. That team did a great job of taking a, fair to say, average car at best, getting stage points with it in both stages, sitting there within position to get points, more points than they perhaps deserved based on speed, and Blaney sped. And, you know, this is going to be something Blaney is going to have to get over. This is what happened to him last year. He made multiple mistakes in the playoffs, knocked him out of the playoffs. Remember, then went to Phoenix and ran really, really well. That could have been a run for the championship. And now Blaney made another mistake by speeding on pit road, got him in the back, and then got in a wreck. So there's another driver and another team that have to put Texas behind them and move forward.
Steve, was Larson's issue racing hard, or did he make a mistake being down that low?
Well, so I think we saw in Kyle Larson's interview a bit of bewilderment, because this next-gen car in this situation, side by side, the aero situation, the tendency has been for that lower car to get tight and go straight up the racetrack. This looked like an old car wreck. He goes in there, he loses either side force, down force, grip of some sort, it snaps around. And you could see the question mark on Kyle Larson's face. He was quite unsure. So what I don't know is the answer to your question. Did he adjust his angle of entry so much that it forced the car free? Or have the crew chiefs continue to find areas in this car to find speed? Because let's remember, not only did the wreck look different, but it was a car that was hands down the fastest car in the field. So has Cliff Daniels found an aero advantage or position for this car that adds speed on normal laps? But is this then the vulnerability of that setup, right? Is this now something that we haven't seen before? Only the 5-car knows that, and I guarantee that Larson, Cliff Daniels, and all of Hendrick Motorsports, while they're celebrating number 300, they'll also be looking to exactly how this issue happened so they don't see it again at Las Vegas, Miami. You know, we have other high-speed mile-and-a-halves coming this season.
Steve, I think that wreck doesn't happen in turn 3. It only happens in turn 1. You know, because there is no other corner like turn 1 at Texas. There is no banking to lean on. It is a super flat corner. And so we have not had these issues, as you said, but we have also not raced at Texas. This is only the second time we've raced there. And it was hot. It was worst case scenario. I don't think that wreck happens at any other mile-and-a-half. It's such a challenge getting into turn 1. You're already on edge of rear grip. You're already a little bit loose into turn 1. And now you do see a little bit of side force trying to race someone and maybe carrying too much speed into a corner that doesn't have the grip. And now around you go.
And the worst of the 4, as you mentioned, 28th for Ryan Blaney. But all the other guys, they finished close to the front with the exception of Larson wrecking out there. So a tough weekend at Texas, but obviously they'll be able to rebound at Talladega. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Motormouths, presented by Toyota.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.